Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 155 days away from its official release date by director J.J. Abrams that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be a revelation movie. It's going to have a lot of twists and turns that are, in fact, going to lead to many different saga-wide implications of the entire saga that we are all used to ever since it started back in 1977. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the plans by J.J. Abrams, Chris Terrio, and George Lucas, etc., this is where things begin to get very intriguing and, well, at the same exact time, somewhat unfortunate for the character of Anakin Skywalker / actor Hayden Christensen. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that it's described that one of the original sequences that were planned by J.J. Abrams during the rewrites of the film for the months of November and December of 2018 included a very important scene for Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker toward the third act of the film that was ultimately scrapped. It said that one of the original plans by Abrams for Hayden Christensen as Anakin included a scene in which the Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker would absorb the energy of the spirit of Sidious, where Anakin would create himself into a large shockwave of energy as he began to vanish. It said that this idea of Anakin's very brief battle with Palpatine and Palpatine's defeat was scrapped and later fixed up to be something different of a scene for Anakin Skywalker in the netherworld of the Force instead. It said that this was scrapped due to JJ and George wanting to give Luke more limelight in the third act of the film, where they planned to save Anakin for a scene in the netherworld of the Force with the other Force ghosts. Additionally, it's described that they wanted Palpatine's defeat to be done in a different way to make it very emotional and powerful, rather than brief and surprising, and that it was all to do with something special for the character of Luke Skywalker instead. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because let me tell you, it is a shame that we're not going to get a scene just like that of what they originally planned, for Anakin Skywalker essentially defeating Palpatine once and for all, where it's his Force ghost and, of course, the Spirit of Sidious clashing together, of course, head-to-head here in a battle at the very end of Episode 9. Now, we do know that this movie is going to have a lot of action-packed sequences as well as a lot of emotional scenes in the movie, and a lot of this was, of course, to give Luke Skywalker, the Jedi Master himself, more limelight within the third act of Episode 9. More screen time, if you will, which is also great, and that they plan to save Anakin Skywalker for a scene that would actually replace that one, where Anakin would appear in the netherworld of the Force itself with the other Force ghosts. So, what I like about, Episode 9 so far is that we do know that this movie is going to be introducing a lot of aspects to the franchise that we have never seen before on the big screen in Star Wars film history. And it's kind of unfortunate because this would have really given, I guess you could say, Anakin Skywalker some revenge against Palpatine for what Palpatine did to Anakin and how he made Anakin become Darth Vader and all these different, techniques of manipulation that he did to Anakin. It would have been great justice for, of course, Darth Sidious himself in order for Anakin Skywalker to do such a thing just like this. So the fact that that was scrapped and pretty much put to the wayside, for Hayden Christensen acting that part, that was all planned for reshoots and was even part of the rewrites of the movie during the months of November and December just last year. Now, that was ultimately, like I say, replaced with a scene where he appears in another world of the Force, which, by the way, we have been talking about for quite a long time now. And what's really interesting about Episode 9 as well is that we also know that this movie is going to do something very unique and unexpected with the spirit of Sidious and, of course, the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker in the third act of Episode 9. Most likely that all lines directly up to what we talked about not too long ago, about the Force ghost of Luke actually in a confrontation with the spirit of Sidious, where Luke is over, of course, Kylo Ren's shoulder at one point in time during the battle. So what I like about this is that they're really trying to make this movie very, I guess you could say, mysterious to the audience as we wait for the marketing to come into full swing here in August. They're starting to ramp it up as we get closer to Star Wars, as a whole, and as we get closer to San Diego Comic-Con. They're starting to ramp up the actual marketing of this movie. Just the other week, we learned about Sith Troopers, and now, during this week, we're going to be learning a little bit more about this movie, most likely other minor characters that will be actually coming out of the light here in order for us to learn about the film a little bit more. But once San Diego Comic-Con hits, we will be learning a little bit more about this film. Again, like I say, they canceled the trailer for SDCC this year and are saving it all the way until August 24th over at D23. So I would love to hear what you all have to say about this scrapped scene for Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker toward the third act of the film. Still good news is that they actually still do have plans for Hayden as Anakin in the netherworld of the Force for the third act of Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.